Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Hey, here we go. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you all here. Got a whole bunch of emails to get through. People just letting us know stuff, passing on the good word to you. I was talking about the show that I kind of jumped into again, Dexter. They got Dexter New Blood is the reboot of it. They've picked up basically, I guess, 10 years or so after the show had ended. And they'd even kind of admitted that we lost our way a little bit there as we wrapped up the regular of Dexter, because I did not see the last, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. And, you know, it's actually, I'm okay. Where I jumped in, I kind of know what happened on the show, but I didn't have to waste how much time watching episodes that they even admit probably weren't that great. And it's all good. And Angie said, yeah, hey, thanks for the info on watching Dexter on demand. Unfortunately, only the first episode is available, and then you got to subscribe to Showtime.
Oh, they do that cock-teasing thing where they'll give you 1 or 2.
I've had that happen with History Channel stuff, something I wanted to jump into, and they gave you the first episode and then the 4th episode.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is some mind game.
Right.
It makes you feel crazy. Go, why would they not upload part 3?
Yeah.
I need 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting mental strategy, because then you're like, oh, you start watching 4 and you're like, I got to fill in the gaps of 2 and 3.
I can't, if it's scripted stuff, I cannot jump around episodes. I can't skip one. If not, I'll punt.
That seems manipulatively deceptive and tinkering on the line of uncool practices.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They give you 1 and 4 and then charge you for 2 and 3. That's fucked.
They know we'll pay it. Some of us will pay it. I've done it before. I did it with. They did that with Better Call Saul. They had the last available season. They only had episode 1, 2, 5, 6.
They're doing what they can do to get you to try to subscribe. You know, they got to survive. They got to pay. Hey, they're trying to make a living. Same right. And this is just kind of the new game that they have out there, that they try to do stuff. It's a whole new platform and formula now. So it's crazy stuff. Got an email here from Deanna who said, listen to your podcast from Tuesday. We were talking about Dateline-type murder shows. I've got a local one for you. There is a Hulu documentary coming out on 12/16 about a murder that happened in West Palm Beach in 2017. The documentary is about a 24-year-old man, Randy, who stabbed his 21-year-old female friend, Brooke, 25 times and used a sleepwalking defense. It's called Dead Asleep, and the trailer is on YouTube. It is unique in that there really isn't a motive to speak of. He swears he was asleep and wound up over her dead body with a knife in his hand. The guy was convicted and is now serving life in the Florida prison system where he belongs. Keep in mind, this documentary is only the murderer's side, as the family and friends of the slain girl did not participate at all in it.
I mean, it's such a deep defense to say, oh, I was sleeping. That's how you don't take any responsibility from it. I'm sure her family does not want to hear that.
No.
I'd love to know if he had romantic interest in her, or if anybody saw any weird behavior before this episode from him. Or was he totally cool, totally normal, and this is just shocking to everybody?
The one thing that I have learned from a lot of these murder specials that I watch, it's not always the situation where, oh, the kid was killing animals and you don't always see these signs of somebody killing everybody. Not everybody's going to follow that protocol.
But did he like her and she didn't return his love? That would be a question that maybe some of their friends might know. Some of her friends might know the answer to.
But even if they could not find any of that stuff, there are some people, in my opinion, that could want to murder and don't let anybody know about it.
And they just snap for no motive.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's people that hide it for, look at the BTK.
Am I sitting next to one?
No, I don't love. I love murder specials. I have to add that.
I have
special.
to ask. I'm a journalist.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right before I get killed, I want to know it's coming.
You can hide your murderous thoughts, Virginia.
Yeah, just it is really a fascination, I guess, what people have. Those shows do very well.
They do, and there's so many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know when it comes to even podcasts, it's one of the top genres, the true crime genre.
The
You're
real
right.
stuff people are really into.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, crazy stuff. And we had talked about this right at the tail end of the regular show. There is a press conference, I believe, that is happening now. If there's any updated information, if you're checking this out live, Suits will bring it into us. On the murder of Ryan Rogers, they have apparently a homeless man in custody in Miami. That is all we really know right now. The guy had a YouTube channel, and we'd seen some of the videos
It's still
on it.
up.
It is.
We were
Yeah.
looking at it at the homeless guy who they think killed the kid. He had pages and pages and videos of him being paranoid and thinking everybody's stalking him. He's talking like a crazy person.
If it's the whatever name that you gave me in Suits gave, if that's the person they have, I did watch their YouTube channel is still up, and it's kind of this weird.
Yeah, you
and
see
I don't
that
know,
there's something.
We had a question too when it comes to that stuff. I don't see them keeping that stuff up.
No,
because of the nature
but
of
it's
the
up
crime.
for right now, and the name is Semi17.
Yeah, I don't know what the guidelines are for taking down with social media platforms when they do. And I know that they have fought with government agencies before that have wanted to have stuff taken off, or they wanted information. And that has kind of been an ongoing fight. And I don't know how well defined it is as to whether they give up information or whether they take people's pages down. Who deems that, on when you do or when you should? Is there a criteria for it?
I think you should.
I'm not arguing against it, but I just don't know if they have a criteria because, there might be people who would call demand on take this page down, take that page down. And what is the criteria that they consider? If somebody's committed murder, is that immediately something where YouTube will take a page down if there is someone who is charged with murder?
Right. Do you take it down before his day in court?
Well,
Right.
those are all good points. Those are all good points.
So I don't know what YouTube's policy is, and maybe we'll find out.
It's still up as of now.
You just hate this fucking story. The story's terrible.
It's
I hate it.
awful. And it just seems like it was random by this transient guy that, thank God, he had been arrested before and they had a DNA sample of him. And so when they found DNA at the crime scene, they were able to match it.
Yeah, I can see the press conference is streaming right now. So they're talking about it. So maybe by the time we wrap up this podcast, we'll have some more details on what they said.
Yeah, and we're not trying to advertise the channel. That's not what we're trying to
No.
do. I know you had said the name. You're not trying to get people to watch it.
No, but if you want to get a peek into what's going on in this guy's head, I mean, he clearly was paranoid, clearly having delusions, and thought everybody was stalking him. So now, at least we have an answer of what happened to this poor kid.
Yeah.
We know what the motive was: psychotic.
Yeah. Well,
Psychotic and possibly just random and totally not anything the kid did wrong.
we don't know anything. All we're doing is reacting to the press conference.
So maybe we'll have more information here before we get out. Other emails that have come in. Carrie from Greenwood, Arkansas sends in an email. She said, I want to see if y'all had heard of the documentary on HBO Max called Into the Fire. They were investigating the QAnon movement for way before the election and the incident at the Capitol. Florida makes some appearances, of course. The only way I know any of those stories is from listening to the Whacked Out News and some of the store freakouts and council meetings that you guys did segments on. They don't deep dive into all the conspiracies, but they focus a lot on who was behind it. I'm going to tell you, it will open your mind to how easily people can be moved and manipulated to do things and say things that they never would have dreamed of before they fell down the rabbit hole. They even have the guy that was behind the anonymous movement that was going on several years back. Anyway, I thought that with you going through this with your mom, Kev, you'd find it interesting. I am interested to hear your thoughts. I'll check it out. There's another QAnon documentary that I watched. It was a journalist or filmmaker, documentary maker, whatever, and her dad had kind of gotten down into that. And it started off with her showing how angry her dad was and what he was saying. And it was just blind hate towards a political party. And they were able to wean him out of that. And the demeanor of her dad he even just looked like curled up and angry.
Clanked.
Yes, when they started. And by the end, he seemed to be relaxed and kind and peaceful. And she just felt like, I feel like I got my dad back. And it's a very bizarre thing that I went through before my mom had died, that it was all the things that she was into and what she believed. So I will check that one out if I haven't seen that one yet.
Because you went through it.
I did,
You
yeah.
lived it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your mom, at least the things that she was saying to you, were not in her normal character.
No, it wasn't. And she had not only that, but she had these people she called the prophets. So, I told you, she had always kind of grown up in this apocalyptic thing where, Jesus is always coming and the world's ending. And like I told you, the shows that I used to have to watch when I was a young kid in elementary school about Don't Be Left Behind.
That's the one.
Left
The
Behind.
Left Behind series.
Nothing short of
where
horrifying.
if you're not right with Jesus, everyone who is going to disappear and you're left here. And you don't want that. And they were marching kids out to the guillotine and chopping their heads off. And I was
that Left Behind one, that one is a tough one to watch if you are a little stoned. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, if you did that, you did it to yourself.
Well, I think that's why you do it, because you want that ride.
Well, and I think with the whole QAnon thing, the thing that is crazy about it, there is a lot of terrible things that are going on and crazy things that are happening. And it kind of validates some of the radically extreme rumors that were out there. I think my mom was even going as far as like they were keeping kids under the Disney premises and they had the hidden tunnels. I said, well, they do have tunnels, but they're not housing, sexually trafficked kids in those tunnels. She's like, and then they have them under the White House and, all these kind of things were part of it.
She had to the point where she believed in people eating babies.
They were doing blood draws.
Yeah, I think there were things like that. There were some all this kind of just crazy stuff. And it had gone to that. I remember part of the stuff was that Trump was going to be back, and the prophets had said they had a vision that Trump would be back in office. I think like August 6th he would be back in the White House. So I kept saying to Mom, and the dates would pass. I'm like, so what do you think? Like, this prophet has been wrong 3 times. He keeps making these bold proclamations and it's not right. And it was odd. She would still kind of, maybe miss that, but maybe not that guy. But so she still kept holding on to it. It was really kind of crazy.
They had her brainwashed.
They did. And, and I'll look, and there was even a headline, the Ghislaine Maxwell. There are stories like that's going on with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Like I said, there is a thread of these kind of high-powered people that do these kind of salacious things. And a sex trafficking thing, which is in a sense what Jeffrey Epstein was going and doing right here in Palm Beach County and in South Florida, it leads credence to that. And they had Jeffrey Epstein's pilot, the latest in the Ghislaine Maxwell thing. He was talking about passengers that were flying on Epstein's private plane. And you have Bill Clinton, Democrat, Donald Trump, Republican, Chris Tucker, John Glenn, Kevin Spacey. And this is what they've put on the court. This guy under oath has testified, all these people, I flew on the plane. Not to say that they're guilty of anything salacious, but, they were talking yesterday about how there was a 14-year-old girl that was on the plane. And not that he had seen anything sexual or improper happening, but you're just like, why is there just a 14-year-old girl without her parents on this plane? There are odd things there that's going on.
Very odd.
When you see those headlines go on and that's a legitimate news story, then that's what I think makes it hard for some of these people who can't identify what is a fake blog and somebody that's trying to mess with their mind.
There are probably filthy, disgusting, abhorrent Republicans and Democrats. Can you believe it?
No,
it's
absolutely.
not political. There are both.
Yeah, and I think that it's just there's enough sliver of truth in some of these threads that they can weave these incredible yarns, and that's how people get sucked in. Carrie also said, also for Jerby, my ears perk up every time he starts giving us updates on his ghosts, and I can't wait to hear what their next investigation into his house reveals. So tell him the updates should keep coming, and I love him, and go fuck himself.
Jerby.
You love it.
Another email here says, can we get the background story on Denny's tramp stamp they noticed from Do It Bitch when he was trying to walk on the Legos blindfolded and barefoot the other day,
Denny's!
and he was crumbling. His pants dropped a bit, and you could notice he's got an inked up tuchus.
Get
and
in
they want to
here.
know what the heck is going on. What is up with this
Tell
ink
us
that you
about-
got on your behind?
Why do you have a chick's tattoo above your ass?
That was from the old weight loss challenge we did. I think it was like our second year or first year here at WRMF. So, yeah, I was the loser of that, and we had one of our listeners design a tattoo that was an infinity symbol of I think it was Jason's name.
Yeah.
Infinity symbol. Yeah.
There you go. Look at that thing. If you're watching
thing is-
KVJ TV right now, that thing's pop.
So that's
popping.
not a tramp stamp, though.
No,
it's not.
I think
Okay.
everybody says that because it's easier to recognize the spot, but it's
Gotcha.
definitely not. It's I guess a butt tattoo.
That's a butt cheek tattoo.
That shit still fucking pops, by the way. And if you want to get that covered up,
I put cream on it to make it pop.
Looks good.
by the way,
Keep
that,
it from drying
that
out.
didn't get the shine that deserved. He got I branded.
Put that thing back on KVJ TV.
I just
It says
we
Jason
can get that change if we
with
want.
the infinity symbol.
If you wanted to get that covered.
I think he was tattooed by Daniel Gilbert, the guy that did your shoulder
he did my
tat.
Okay.
shoulder, my fresh ink.
Is Daniel the official KVJ tattoo artiste?
He's done 2 of the members.
Looks
He
good.
does great work, and he was really awesome to work with. Now I don't have that much experience with tattoo people, but he's 2 for 2 for me.
Do you want to get it taken off, Denny's?
I mean, I didn't get it because I want Jason's name on me. I got it because I lost a radio bit. So I mean, it's really not like if anyone ever said like, "Why do you have that?" It's so easy to explain. To him.
He's secure with what.
He's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you
it
kinda
make-
have to
it
do
makes
this
sense.
Fucking job.
If I just went out on my own accord, then I mean,
That'd be weird.
You gotta have tough skin to be on the show.
Literally.
I got a couple questions here. One from Eric for you, Denny's. Said, Jaybird said that Denny's is a gamer, and now I got to know what he games on and what games he runs. I feel like he's either a League of Legends or an Overwatch kind of guy, but hit me up if you're trying to play Warzone, Denny's.
that's the one everyone plays.
Oh, Denny's. This is what Denny says about Warzone. Hey, let's play some Snore Zone. He makes fun of it all the time.
Oh, he
Yeah, he
does.
calls Warzone players posers.
Oh, that's harsh.
No, he doesn't.
None of that's real.
What games do you like, Denny's?
I mean, that's a pretty layered question because, all right, so just because I am a gamer forever, I just like movies, the new thing in game trends is they're remaking everything. It's just how it is right now. So all the games that are coming out are remakes of games from 10 or 20 years ago, and they're just using the new engines to make them look better.
Like Pole Position? I love that one.
That one may or may not come back
What about Donkey Kong?
again.
What about Q Bert?
Yes. So I play a lot of the old classics as they're re-released. Anything that gets a AAA title that's in the... So at the end of the year, they come out with the best games list. I beat all of them. I always beat every game that's on the best games list because clearly it made it to that list for a reason. And a lot of times, I'm pretty genreless. I'll play any genre. It doesn't even matter to me.
But you play to beat the game.
Yes, I will never start a game and not beat it.
Wow.
I don't think
Okay.
I've ever not completed a video game.
Really?
Yeah, when we
He sees
fir-
it all the way through.
When we first started hanging out together, I told him that I beat Tyson in Tyson's Punch Out. He didn't believe me. I think he believes me now, though.
Yes.
So tell me the top 5 games you've beat that you enjoyed playing the most.
All right, so the tricky part about games now is you have games that are kind of like games, like your Q-Berts and stuff that are just a game. And now the games, they hire directors, they have actors, they get real scripts for these things, and they make them into, so you know how movies were big, and then TV shows kind of took over movies because you get way more content, you can get way more invested in it.
Sure.
Games are even deeper than that because say a TV series, you got 12 episodes, they're an hour pop, it's 12 hours. An average game can take 36 hours to beat.
Oh, my
So
God.
you're getting so much more content,
Yeah.
right? And if you play some of like the JRPGs that I'll play, like a Persona 5, that took me 156 hours
Wow.
to beat that game.
Okay.
It's a very long game. I mean, given I beat it over the course of 3 months, but
Sounds like you're bragging again.
I like it. No, brag.
I'm kidding with him, you fuck.
Put your dick on the counter.
So we were talking about robot AI. One of the best games ever was that Horizon Zero Dawn on PlayStation 4. It's basically the concept that we came up with robot AI that could reproduce, and then it started reproducing, and then we lost the battle against robots, and it's rebuilding the population post that event. That game has one of the best stories I've ever heard, tying in elements of the future with the elements of present.
What was that story? You guys are going to do that on the Weird and Whatever. I just seen the headline that computers now, or I guess robots
reproducing.
Yeah.
So they're using frog embryos.
Which makes you gotta ask the question: is this robot or is it part? Is there a living thing
It's
in there?
Frogbot.
You have a frog embryo in there, but you also have got this, machine going on
So
here.
it's part living organism and part...
It's a hybrid, so they're considering it a new kind of species. They're calling it an artifact. It's a mixture of a organic compound and a artificial compound.
And it wants voting rights.
Well,
that's the joke. What's going to happen in the future?
They're hoping that it can do things in the medical community. That's what they always started off. Oh, it's going to help with getting rid of the cancer cells.
Oh, it's going to be fucking great at Leapfrog.
And then it's going to be running for president. It's happening.
Wow.
It's all happening.
It's going to hop right in the White House.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have President Robot.
If you read the article, the scientists say, don't worry, it's contained, and our biggest fear is it getting out, Because if it gets out and it can reproduce, who knows what could happen? They're like, don't worry, we can end it at any time we want.
Whatever.
If somebody offered one of those scientists who doesn't get paid as much as the other scientists, just said, hey, grab me an embryo, what's to stop them from doing that?
Well,
how
to
contained
me,
could it be?
I think that's...
It's never contained.
You can't.
Well, that's
you
just
can't.
it, yeah.
Because people can be bought.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it could be bought, or they could, have nefarious means. You think about all the things a lot of people have been talking about with the COVID, and who knows if it came out of that Wuhan lab or not, but it does sound like they do create a lot of things in there that would be really bad if they did get out, and it may or may not have happened from that Wuhan lab, but still, the possibility shows itself.
Well, you have this little robot thing with the egg, the frog embryo. Let's say they build these things and they're starting to pull embryos and all kinds of stuff from animals.
Yeah.
And these things come to life and they start to have feelings. Do we look at them as... I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
A robot
Yeah.
with life?
Like we can't
Right.
say mean things to them. We have to treat them kind.
Well, it's...
they get equal rights.
If they want to run for office, do you let them? Well, I've got rights. I'm part life. I'm a frog.
I think one of the big questions is, would these things have any empathy? Because you think computers do not, and that is the one human characteristic that keeps us hopefully from dropping nukes on each other, is there's a little bit of empathy that you're like, I wouldn't want to do that to all of these people. Would computers ever say that, or are they just so cold and sterile that they don't see the value of life?
Couldn't you program it though to have empathy? But then
I don't
does
know.
that run out?
Yeah, the fear is that if you program it to make decisions on its own, so the way it has to be designed first, so it has the options yes, no, right? So it's should I shoot this person? Yes, no. It goes no. Should I grab this food? Yes, no, yes. So it does that. But if somebody could mess with that, think about just people hacking phones. Think about,
Sure, yeah.
We have
Yeah.
credit card covers because people just scan credit cards. How easy is it going to be to hack a person?
Are you telling me you don't trust humans to build frog robots?
Frog bots are going to take us down.
I think it's going to start off admirable. They're going to be working on rebuilding organs in human bodies and rebuilding spines. And then it's going to slowly turn.
Frogbot president.
Well, they're going to be like, well, look at the medical advances we had. We have to clearly greenlight this, and everybody's going to agree with it because it's saving all these lives. And then the next phase is going to be slightly different.
We're going to build houses. They can build them quicker. They can produce food.
Yeah, right. They sell you all the promises of it, and then just one little thing goes haywire, and next thing you know, all the abilities it has to do good now has those same abilities to do bad.
All that bullshit as a kid I thought was never going to happen. You're crazy, Jay-Bird.
Frogbot turns it on us and turns it into Squid Game.
Frogbot is a fucking like it's a G.I. Joe character.
How
Frogbot.
random is that? The little C-shaped, it looks like a Pac-Man, collects cells and groups them, and then it absorbs them, and then it splits. It's kind of insane, right?
Yeah. Well, in the one comment, there's in the chat room right now, somebody said, the classic fear is that they would become self-aware and then they try to protect themselves.
Yes.
And any species does. Humans do that.
But
that
who's going to be dominant?
And if they feel like, oh, they're trying to deactivate me, you will not deactivate me.
Absolutely. And then they'll probably come up with their own version of reason, because there's situations that are gray. like you were saying with the
Yeah.
absolutes. And if they're making
Yeah.
the decisions, I mean, it's going to be yes.
We
no.
realize we can't control them, and this is extended past our level of control. Then when you try to deactivate, that's when they go ape shit.
And they're all not going to be benign like C-3PO. Oh, I can't believe this. Oh, no, they're there to fucking fuck you up.
Yeah.
Well, there's good people. And there's bad people. There's good frogs and there's bad frogs.
Hurt frog robots. Hurt frog robots.
Yes.
You're right.
As the saying goes.
As the saying goes.
Damn.
Dang. Okay.
Hopefully
Deep
this
stuff.
hopefully we're dead before the frog robots take
It's going to be a
over.
long time.
There's no way I don't have Frogbot and Night Terrors tonight.
You're gonna get screwed by a frog bot incubus.
I think that would be such a cool movie, though. Frogbot. These Frogbots are taking over.
Oh, it's awesome. The other tricky ethical thing is with the medical, they're creating organic compounds that are living tissues. That's another thing that's kind of, it's living. I mean, is it sentient? I don't know, but it does exist as having life. So, and they're using those for growing organs. I know it sounds like that, but so
Did
in
you
a lot
hit
of
the weed pen?
a lot of senses, it's great because they can grow new organs. If you need a kidney, if you need a liver, they can grow one. But in the
You see the benefits, and then all of a sudden,
bad sense is they're growing it on a creature that they don't know if it's
But
sentient or
that's
not.
how they get you on your side, though. We're getting rid of cancer. We're getting rid of this. We're growing cells.
Agreed.
We're getting
Can we
rid of-
grow
argue
Jason
that.
a new kidney?
I mean, that'd be cool.
get some
I
Frogbots.
could use one.
What if we got you a new kidney, but it was from a frog bot?
I don't. That's a great question. 5 Calls says it all. Let the good people who listen to this program give me the answer, and they're all going to say, "Get the fucking frog bot."
You
Get it,
definitely get
Oh,
the
yeah.
frog kidney.
If it's uncomfortable and horrible, yep, do it.
Eric had said on a comment from the WRMF app, I have no idea how radio or podcasts work, but I was wondering if you'd be able to do your podcast or show on Twitch TV as well as YouTube. I say this because Twitch has a lot of tools that make it easy to expand your community. Like when you're done with your podcast, you could send your viewers to another person's stream. Just an idea. Love y'all. Yeah, we've actually looked at that, considered it. And, for us, a lot of things are looking at the demographics of who's using Twitch was one of them. And we had the same thing with TikTok. How many people at what age, because there is an audience that for the most part we're trying to attract. And yeah, Twitch is becoming more and more attractive, but it's male dominated, I believe, was part of it. Younger male dominated is where we were with it last time we looked into it.
That's true. Also, I mean, we were looking at it. It's another platformer for sure, but I mean, it does get great interaction. It has great tools for that type of stuff, but it's all trying to keep everything contained in Twitch. We do on tons of different platforms. That
okay.
one takes a lot of care.
Yeah.
Twitch can't be our only bitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, once you
the
have
amount of care we're going to put into it's not going to be what it requires.
I've heard other people talk too. If you have too many platforms, it becomes too much. I mean, I don't know if everyone uses all 5 or 6 platforms. If they do it sparingly.
I think the reason we decided on the YouTubes was just that it's an easy one that a majority of people have Gmail accounts and it's
Right.
already kind of signed up for.
YouTube to me is we've had the least problems of anything is YouTube.
Most problems would be Facebook.
Facebook, fuck
By
Facebook.
far.
Yeah.
Fuck Facebook.
They
Yeah.
continually have issues, especially as they transition into this new metaverse thing.
Seriously, if Facebook turned into a person, I'm a pacifist, but I'd love 3 rounds with him. 3 rounds.
Get Zuckerberg.
Nah, I just want Facebook as a person.
Yeah, and for part of it too, we don't want to take on another platform that we can't do well.
Yes.
And we have a limit. There's 5 of us total, and Denny's and Jaybird and Suits do the lion's share of all that kind of stuff when it comes to the video production and putting things up. So there's unfortunately a limit. If we had a large staff that could maintain all those things well, then we would expand there. And maybe one day we will, but just not today.
Son of a Twitch, we're not doing Twitch.
Yeah. We got, looks like an update as the press conference has ended.
Oh, good.
And the Palm Beach Gardens police chief was talking about the murder of Ryan Rogers, the 14-year-old from Dwyer High School that we had been talking about. And what he had said in the press conference as far as the motive, there doesn't seem to be anything other than, quote, an innocent child victim having a chance encounter with a very violent criminal. So that is what they had said there today in regards to that. So
Completely random.
wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. And it didn't seem like the kind of place that would be a wrong place to be if you know exactly, where his life was taken from him. It was just right off of I-95 is that Hood Road that goes over the overpass there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
I think
near
it
that
was.
area.
Yeah, near Central Boulevard, the sidewalk there near the I-95 overpass. So just a very tragic and terrible story that doesn't look like it has anything other than just a senseless murder, unfortunately. So, again, our sympathies go out to his mom and his family and everything else. So just a terrible story. So, all righty, y'all. Thank you guys for the emails, for sending those in. Mail@kvjshow.com is how you get them to us. mail@kvjshow.com.
Thank you to our official vodka, Atoll Vodka. They are the official vodka of the Palm Beach Holiday Boat Parade.
Oh, nice.
So if you're out there at the VIP viewing stands, you'll be enjoying Atoll Vodka with the KVJ show. And if you want to grab some for yourself this holiday, go to mashandgrape.com.
All right. You guys have an amazing Thursday. We'll see you back here for the Friday KVJ show. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.